Yep. I think first thing in order is to congratulate Ball State. Really well played game. A good team that we knew was well coached and, came in here and, I don't know what their perception was of how the game was going to go, but, they were in for a fight and they were the last man standing. We knew it was going to be a 3.5-hour long fight with not, first game or first road game of an opponent that you don't know very well, with the surprises and the wrinkles and, trying to, just get to know somebody after a 9-month period and then going out to Wyoming. This is a team that we faced, second to last game last year and, have a history with and whatnot. And so we knew that it was just going to be, two football teams getting after it for 3.5 hours. And, they made the plays in the end to win. I mean, it's obvious at the time of possession. I don't know if I've ever been in a game where the time of possession is so lopsided, and we're up. And when we were up, we were scoring quickly and whatnot. But for that second half, for them to have, the 20-play, essentially a 10-minute long drive and to score and to be, I believe on that drive there was third and fourth down conversions and then we had 52 seconds to go 3 and out right after that. And, it was a one time where I just felt there was a lapse, with our team from, just the energy and the belief. And we captured that back. But, we lost turnover ratio again. I mean, we were winning at 1-0 for a long time. And, when we're trying to come back, we ended up, not making the plays, and they made the plays to win in the end. So happy to take any questions.
Let's take questions. First, Friday.
What did you know about Riley Neal before the game, and what did you learn about Ball State's quarterback? Looking back now.
But we knew that they were a run-heavy team. Up front, 5 offensive linemen, they were all either redshirt seniors or juniors. So, they were very experienced. We knew that they were going to try, from the previous 2 games, we knew that they were going to probably attempt to run the ball the whole game, and we really got that. The game plan, the coaches set up a great game plan, and, like Coach said, it's 4 quarters of football, and we didn't finish today, so.
You guys were up 17-0 at one point. What broke down for them to run away with 28 unanswered points in defense?
Well, like I said before, my coaches drew up a great game plan. We started off the first half, actually, following the game plan. Everybody's doing their responsibility, things like that. And, they're a great football team, like, Coach said, with experienced offensive line. So, they scored a couple times, which we expected. And, that I guess they scored and we didn't have any answers back.
Take us through the 20-play drive by Ball State where they had 2 fourth-down conversions. Just how frustrating was that as a player knowing you had opportunities to stop what you did?
Yeah, like you said, we had actually a 3rd and 15 we didn't get off, and then 2 fourth downs. So, that's pretty, disappointing as a defensive player. But, we kept talking to each other on the field, tried to push through it. And I believe, did they get a field goal or a touchdown off of that? Yeah, they ended up scoring. But, we didn't break, we didn't bend. We could just easily gave up, got tired, but we dug deep down and, held together.
That happened again here?
I think the time where I just kind of felt, a little bit of a letdown, would have been after their long drive, and then with our 3 and out after that, and some of that's natural, and but I think that in some ways it's sort of a microcosm of what we're trying to do here. Of course, we're trying to win football games, and we're getting closer. But I keep telling the team that, if we had won today, it hasn't fixed anything. We haven't finished or solved anything. This is a long, hard fight, what we're trying to do. We're trying to do something great. We're trying to do something special, and it's not going to be easy. It's not. And, last week, after being down 7-0 and having, all the momentum and emotion against us and whatnot, we were able to take a stand. I felt as though, I didn't think that we got too high. We didn't feel as though that, we had won the game by any means. It was not an Old Dominion scenario at all. It was just a football team on the other end that was going to keep on pounding it and keep on coming. And, in the end, we had opportunities to make plays, and we didn't. And it's not because our guys aren't trying or because they don't care or anything like that. It's just their team made the plays, and we didn't. And so that's what's so hard is because, I think there's plenty of scenarios where we could be in here and having a lot of fun, and that we would have finished it off. But whether we had won or now that we've lost the game, the message again for our guys is it's going to be really, really hard to do what we're doing, and we got to embrace that. It's not going to be we get up 17-0, the other team folds, and we go on an 11-game win streak. It's going to be really, really hard. And so in that microcosm of this game, I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that we didn't just stick our feet in the ground and change it and finish it off. We have guys with the character and the wherewithal and the will and whatnot to do that. It's still really hard to do. We're asking them to do something unnatural. And again, credit to Ball State. They played hard, to the end, and they were the last team standing.
Darian Green, James Gilbert, and Riley Neal, 3 offensive stars for Ball State so far these 3 games. They didn't really play much last year or at all. Was it kind of hard to prepare, not having seen a track record from them last season?
No, it's a good question, but I don't think so. We got to see the quarterback for 2.5 quarters against Texas A&M, and the Darian Green, his first 2 runs, I think, were for 73 yards against Texas A&M in the game. We knew he was a very talented, shifty back. Played against us last year, So we've seen film on those guys, and we gave up, that run early, and in some ways that is. A case of where our defense didn't say, oh, here we go again. They worked hard, for their yards, and we weren't perfect, but it wasn't a deal where, we were just getting gutted, in our rush defense. That wasn't the case at all. It was a good plan, and of course we'll go back and watch the film, and there's going to be disappointment, and there's obviously there's going to be accountability on our team with all of us, but again, this is not going to break us, and it wouldn't have made us if we'd won the game. We're going to stay after it.
How do you think Robick did today?
He I don't think that he got his feet set, to be honest with you, very well today, and so I thought, a lot of his balls were just a little bit off. But I'm a huge fan. I believe in him. We know what he's capable of. But we just sat and talked in the locker room. I think it's gonna be hard for him to watch the film. Because I think that was one of the big things. He just didn't get his feet set, and so he was throwing the ball, with his sort of all arm and not with his feet set, and so we were just missing a little bit. Yeah, no, we were, there was times where, we didn't, convert first downs and whatnot. We had some 3 and outs, but when we're rolling, and D-Jack's a huge part of it. We think that Shaq is not the same as D-Jack. They both have their own little nuances, but we feel great about either guy being in there, and, the way that Ball State played us too is, we're a little bit more one-dimensional in the run game, without the threat of, Brogan being able to run the ball. And it's not because he's capable, but, there's just some, depth issues with that and whatnot. So, we'll go back and review it. That takes us time to watch the film, and because we can obviously always do things better. So we'll look at all that. But I don't come out of the game feeling that way.
Anything else for Coach Craig? Did the officials give any explanation about Juan's ejection after the review?
Well, they just said that they reviewed it up there and said it was targeting. So I obviously haven't seen it yet. So I hope the kid's okay. I know Juan, our player, very well. We're not trying to, target anybody and hurt anybody, but if we did it wrong, we did it wrong, and he should be out. but I know that there's no malintent. I can guarantee that.